Hey everyone, it's Bella, the founder of the Embody Wellness Institute, and today I'm giving you my spiel from my bed. And the reason is because I've been sick for the last week, quarantining myself, of course. And so the video that I didn't want to skip my Wednesday videos, and I wanted to share my thoughts on health and disease, right? Obviously, uh, all of that came up in the last week. But basically, I wanted to share with you where health stop and disease begins, where's the overlap, and what it really means to be healthy in our society. So I have a personal opinion about that as someone that struggled with a lot of health issues and has been able to really recover her health fully with holistic therapies. And as someone who's worked both in the wellness industry as a personal trainer and holistic nutritionist, but also in international health policy, in in working with disease prevention at a populational level. And one of the reasons I decided to step away from that last one is because I was constantly working with disease. I wasn't working with health. And you might argue that you need to prevent disease in order to be healthy, but I think it works the other way around. We have to focus on health and really sort of nourish our health to expand the definition of health in order to really enjoy and that vitality, that energy, that power, which is what I define as health. And the World Health Organization actually agrees with me. Their definition of health, which is, the internationally accepted one, is physical, emotional, social, and mental well-being, right? And it does include our ability to socialize and to make social ties, our ability to kind of control our emotional states and be optimistic and feel well mentally, our ability to enjoy our physical health, but not just like be symptom free, but really have that energy. And I feel like that's something that we have really given up in our society, right? So we see health, even on an individual level, as, oh, I have a headache, I pop this pill. Oh, I have a fever, let me take, Advil. That's not health, guys. And that's something that really has led us into a place where we're pretty much have reduced health down to survival. And I'm not referring to the current pandemic. Yeah, the situation is really complex now, but I actually saw this even before the pandemic where we have allowed medicine, and don't get me wrong, medicine has and is saving millions of lives, and it's incredible, the discoveries that they have made. I use them all the time as well. Very thankful for it. But I think there's room for medicine when we get to a point where we can't help ourselves. But we need to expand our sovereignty over the way that we connect to our bodies, understand how it works, know how to regain equilibrium when we feel a little bit off. And that's where I really see this like breaking point. We don't even understand when we're starting to get sick. If we caught this like little bit of tiredness or a little bit of scratchiness here, if we caught those things before, we would prevent a lot of diseases. But we are completely disconnected from our bodies these days. Like people even, I don't know how true these are, but people even have give birth and they didn't even know they're pregnant, right? That's how ridiculous it gets. But jokes aside, that's a real problem in our society, is that we the definition of health is skewed and we don't really know how to take care of our own health. And, we were designed by design. We're not just created to be, to survive. It's not just survival of the fittest. We were created to thrive. We were created to have this beautiful and really complex and intricate mechanism that's called the body that really knows how to get back to equilibrium. You get exposed to some kind of pathogens and your body immediately knows what to do. You get certain pains and your body pays attention and it fixes it. We need help sometimes, but often we can resolve these things if we knew how to pay attention. And I'm going to share an example from my own personal experience to highlight how health cannot just be, I have to wait until I get sick and go to the doctor. That's not how health works. I want to show you that health is about all these, first of all, the language of the body and listening to it, what I call sensefulness. And I have a method that helps you really relearn this language so you can really work with your body to make it as healthy as possible. Then we have that, and then we have so many tools like what you eat, how you move, your sexuality, which is one of the key components of the vitality and longevity that we have forgotten about. Then there are all kinds of alternative medicines and like vitamins and nutritional supplements, essential oils that in right amounts they can get us back into equilibrium really quickly, right? So I want to give you, throughout this year, I want to give you tools and knowledge so that you can really feel like you're reconnected to yourself and you're really enjoying vitality and sort of redefining health as vitality more so than disease, right? Let's refocus from disease and focus on health, because that's what's going to get us where we want. So what I really want to give you with health and wellness is just the blanket, the foundation for you to have fulfilling relationships, for you to really find your purpose, to be productive and creative at work. It's a means to an end. It's not really about, being healthy to be aesthetically, no, it's about having our health and vitality to do more important things. So that's what Embody is about. That's what I want to share with you. And if you want to hear my personal story, I was diagnosed with an extremely scary disease in my early 20s. And this was after I engaged in a lot of fat diets and excessive exercise as a personal trainer and someone who was really worried about aesthetics. And for 2.5 years, I went from doctor to doctor, and they kept giving me just medications to treat my symptoms, right? And I had a lot of symptoms, from the aching body and muscles to sharp pain in my stomach to foggy head and to inflammation, and my digestive system wasn't working. It was just, and no one could see that it had one root cause, and we had to identify that. And eventually, after getting this diagnosis, I decided to take health into my own hands. So I started studying what caused these things, and I discovered that our foods are loaded with toxins, with pesticides, with additives. Our medicine is loaded with lots of things and heavy metals that really end up interfering with this really delicate equilibrium that our body has. And once I started taking out all the toxins, all the things that were, replenishing my gut, right? I had taken so many medications that my gut was completely ruined. All of the healthy flora was gone. So once I started rebuilding the lining of my stomach that was corroded because of all the different pesticides and all the different toxins that I was eating, and then I started replenishing the microbiome of my stomach, my health started recovering miraculously, and I didn't need to take all those medications anymore. One of the other things that I did is I cut down on exercise. That's not what the modern science tells us, right? They tell us like, oh, exercise, but they don't tell us that there's too much. My body was in extreme stress. The cortisol levels, the stress hormone, was up to the roof, and that was causing all the inflammation as well. My stress levels were very high. My thinking was really skewed, right? So I learned to refocus my mind. Sexuality was a really important thing that I really took control of, and that's where I saw also like my vitality grow, is by really rekindling my own sense of sexuality. And it's not the relation with someone else, it's your own vital energy. Later I discovered that the Taoists see it as such, and in Tantra as well. But it's a really important conjunction of things that I did to regain my health. And guess what? When I went back to the doctors, my disease was gone, and I didn't do anything for it. I didn't take one medication for it because I knew that I wasn't unhealthy. It was just that there was something that caused this. And unfortunately, we're living in a world where we're surrounded with those bad guys, the toxins. They're everywhere. The air we breathe, we cut out all the trees and we're breathing really polluted air. We're not eating good foods. We're not, even exercise, we're doing it incorrectly, but because we're not flowing with our body. We're either overdoing it, or we're doing it for aesthetics. So the sensefulness method is about allowing you to listen to yourself to regain that vitality. And with it, of course, comes a set of knowledge that you need to bring back, the power of what I eat to nourish myself, how I move to energize myself, how I feel my body to really become the protagonist of your own health, write your own story. And so this year, I want to help you regain your vitality, regain your health, and really expand that definition to not only just being symptom-free, but being who you are, and vibrantly, pleasurably so. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you will join me this year in the pleasurable wellness movement and learn about sensefulness.